All right, so today we're taking a look at something pretty wild, actually.
Yeah,
Kanye West's Super Bowl ad.
definitely wild.
And the whole situation that's unfolded since. And I have to admit, when I first saw this, my jaw kind of hit the floor. I mean, Kanye West, a Super Bowl ad, and a swastika. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of just have to see it to believe it.
Exactly. It's not your typical, feel-good, big-budget Super Bowl commercial. It's grainy, shot on an iPhone, at a dentist's office, no less.
Mhm.
And then you've got the Yeezy website,
Good.
completely stripped down, featuring a single T-shirt with the swastika prominently displayed. It's a lot to process, and frankly, it's pretty disturbing. So today, we're going to dive deep into this, try to understand what's going on, what it all means, and what the potential ramifications are. You've been looking into this pretty extensively, so I was hoping you could kind of walk us through this whole saga.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, where do we even begin? Kanye's been in the headlines for a while now for all the wrong reasons, making a lot of controversial statements, and this latest stunt, well, it feels like a whole new level of provocation.
So let's start with the Super Bowl ad itself. It aired locally, right? Not a national spot, but still, the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. It's a massive platform. What was he thinking with this bizarre, low-budget approach?
That's the thing, right? The Super Bowl, even a local spot, is prime advertising real estate. You expect flashy production, catchy jingles, celebrity cameos. But this was almost anti-advertising. It's like he was deliberately trying to be different, to stand out from the noise, and let's be honest, he succeeded.
Yeah, shock value is definitely part of his brand. But this goes beyond just being edgy or unconventional. I mean, a swastika on a T-shirt. That's not just a fashion statement. It's a symbol loaded with historical baggage and horrific implications.
Absolutely. The swastika is indelibly linked to the atrocities of Nazi Germany, to the Holocaust, to hate and genocide. To see it used in this way, it's deeply unsettling, and frankly, it's dangerous.
And the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, they were quick to condemn it. They called out Kanye for normalizing a symbol of hate, for potentially fueling anti-Semitism. I mean, they didn't hold back, and rightfully so.
No, they were absolutely right to call it out. The ADL plays a crucial role in fighting anti-Semitism and all forms of hate speech, and their response to this was a powerful reminder of the importance of that work.
It really is. So, okay, we've got this weird Super Bowl ad, we've got the swastika T-shirt, and then there's the whole social media aspect of this. Kanye has been pretty active on Twitter, but his reach has been limited due to, well, let's just say some of his controversial statements haven't exactly been in line with Twitter's policies. And then he moves over to Discord, a platform known for its, shall we say, less stringent moderation.
Yeah, the Discord move is interesting. It's a platform that's popular with gamers, with specific online communities, and it tends to have a more hands-off approach to content moderation. So it's kind of like he was seeking a space where he could express himself without those pesky rules and restrictions.
And then he deactivates his Twitter account. Right? Was this a calculated PR stunt, a way to generate even more buzz, or was he genuinely feeling the heat and decided to retreat?
Hard to say for sure what was going through his mind, but it definitely adds another layer of complexity to this whole saga.
It does, and it raises some really important questions like, where do we draw the line between free speech and hate speech? What's the responsibility of platforms like Discord in moderating harmful content? And what are the consequences both for Kanye and for society as a whole when someone with his platform and influence promotes such a hateful symbol?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. I mean, on one hand, you have the argument for freedom of expression, but on the other hand, you have the very real danger of normalizing hate speech, of giving it a platform, of potentially inciting violence.
Exactly. And it's not just about the immediate impact. It's about the long-term effects, about how this type of rhetoric can seep into our culture, can normalize bigotry and prejudice. It's a dangerous game he's playing, and I'm not sure he fully understands the stakes.
Yeah, it's hard to say what his end game is here. Is he trying to be provocative, to shock people into paying attention, or is there something more insidious at play? It's unsettling, to say the least.
It really is, and it goes beyond just Kanye himself. It speaks to a larger societal issue, a growing tolerance for hate speech, a blurring of the lines between what's acceptable and what's not. We've seen this with the rise of online extremism, with the proliferation of conspiracy theories, with the emboldening of hate groups.
Absolutely. It's a trend that should concern us all. And this incident with Kanye and the swastika, it's a stark reminder of how easily hate can spread, how quickly it can gain traction, and how dangerous the consequences can be.
So where do we go from here? What happens next?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Will there be legal ramifications for Kanye? Will brands distance themselves from him and Yeezy? And most importantly, will this incident spark a broader conversation about hate speech and the need to combat it?
I think that last point is crucial. We need to have these uncomfortable conversations to challenge hate speech wherever we see it, to hold people accountable for their words and actions.
I agree. Silence is complicity. We all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable society, one where hate and bigotry have no place.
You've given us a lot to think about. I'm left wondering, what's the takeaway for our listeners? What do you hope they'll remember from this deep dive?
I hope they'll remember that symbols matter, words matter, actions matter, and that we all have a responsibility to speak out against hate, to promote understanding and tolerance, and to work towards a world where everyone feels safe and respected.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. It's been enlightening, to say the least.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pretty heavy conversation, but I think an important one to have.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. We hope this has sparked some reflection and conversation. Stay engaged, stay informed, and stay vigilant. Until next time.